I spent $4,000 my first month of card collecting. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna go back to December. I was procrastinating trying to buy my brother a Christmas present, and he's a card collector. I wouldn't call him avid, but he enjoys to rip it as we all do. It has like a pretty neat little collection. And so I had found out that Topps Chrome NBA was releasing and got it very lucky on the lottery. And so I was able to snag 2 hobby boxes, which I realized after the fact was pretty lucky and was a rare thing, and maybe we should have held them to sell on the secondary market afterwards unopened for 2-3x what they were on retail. And then we fast forward to Christmas Eve. We can't even make it to Christmas to open these. We were excited to open. It's my first time really ever ripping, and obviously this is more of a premium product. You don't get to rip hobby boxes every day, especially for a Chrome product. Flagship, definitely a little bit more affordable for some fun there. But we start ripping, and of course the flagship item that we pulled out of both hobby boxes is a redemption auto, Skywrite redemption auto, a Skywrite redemption auto of none other than Victor Wembanyama. As you can imagine, the elation in the room from just my brother and I, my wife, my mom, my dad, no idea what's going on, right? And my brother and I are kind of losing our minds like, this is unbelievable, what an incredible pull. And that adrenaline rush is what we all chase when it comes to ripping, right? And so as you can expect, as a new person kind of entering the space, it kind of took me over, right? We get back from visiting family, and I am every night for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I am on an online break, trying to get into breaks. I'm on eBay, I'm scouring for new products or new cards that I want. I'm buying boxes direct from Fanatics, direct from Topps. I'm going into my local card shop and buying cards. I'm also buying boxes there. And then of course, on top of all that, you have all these cards. If you're putting money into it, you need supplies. And so the $4,000, ends up turning itself into kind of a following breakdown. I spent about $1,500 on breaks, about $1,000 on boxes, another $1,300 on singles, and then supplies were about, say, $175 as well. And it's not like you don't get anything for it. I got some really cool cards. I have, cards I'm waiting to grade. I have, a flag numbered to 199, a flag refractor. I have a couple more flags as well. I have a Siakam glass canvas, Wemby fanatical, and then a Jokic on the ultraviolet. Cuts into it a little bit, but now I have to sell them, right? Now I have to package them and list them and try to get fair market value on these, because they're cards I don't need, I don't want. Like, I have no attraction to these cards whatsoever. And the reality is, the majority of the hits you're going to get look like this. It's Ayo Dosunmu, right? Numbered. It's Oso Ighodaro. It's Jake LaRavia. It's Talen Horton-Tucker. It's Jayshawn Tate. I pulled one out too soon. There's Nick Clifford. And then it's Will Riley. All cards that, sure, to a collector of those teams or to those players mean something. To me, it doesn't mean anything. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm buying all this. I'm spending all this money. And then it really hits me one night when I'm sitting there. I'm waiting for this break. I definitely overpaid for a team because the math on these breaks makes zero sense whatsoever. It's horribly kind of manipulative and really dangerous to get into these online breaks and this kind of gambling subculture. If you can't be careful, you fall into the same pitfall I did. And here I am sitting, I spent $50 on a team, I forget what they were breaking, and I need a hit. Like, I'm at a point where I need something good to happen here, or I'm kind of I wouldn't say in danger, that that's not the point here, but I can see how people get sucked into this trap the same way I did. And it kind of made me snap out of it, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't until my credit card came due and I saw how much I had spent and I actually had to do the math, right? I was kind of hiding from the numbers. I was like, well, it's only a little bit every day. It can't be that bad. No, I tallied it up. I've shown it on the screen. I'll probably show it again here. It's not pretty. That's in a month, right? No hobby can really absorb that much damage. And if so, let me know what that hobby is. It sounds like a fun thing to get into. But man, I really had to sit down and be like, I love this. There's something new I really enjoy. I like ripping cards. I like adding to a personal collection. Ripping gives you that dopamine rush, but I gotta figure out a way to make this balance and to make it last. And so I used my friend ChatGPT. Highly recommend just for like some brainless work there of trying to figure out how much can I realistically afford? How much should I cut back? And we kind of decided on the following. I'm gonna have 3 separate buckets. I'm gonna make a monthly budget, and I'm gonna cut that up between money I'm buying for singles, money I'm buying for boxes, and then kind of a slush fund, right? If you see something that's a little bit over what you typically would spend in that month, you can roll it over into either of those two. And then the funds kind of roll over. So if you know there's a big release coming up in a few months, maybe you slow down the singles buying. And that allows you to open up to to some larger purchases down the line and some more fun rips. But that's basically what I did. I heard some really good feedback as I started consuming more content. I think this was specifically from Teapot, who is down in Cards HQ. He had said something along the lines of, unless they're like your top 3 favorite athletes, even if you like the athlete, try to keep only 2 to 3 cards for them, right? Don't try to build up this 30 plus card repertoire. Try to keep it to 2 or 3 cards. And if you're gonna buy a 4th, kind of reckon with yourself and say, would I give up one of the other 3 I have to get this 4th? Would I replace one? And then you can list it and whatnot. But the idea is just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Stick to a budget. You have to stick to a budget to make this, a hobby that can have some longevity to it, and you can actually enjoy it, and you're not stressing about it, because the stress definitely hurts. And then that means that your wins can be such bigger wins, right? You can actually enjoy them because you're not financially needing them to hit. You want them to hit. You always want them to hit financially as well. You want boxes to pay for themselves. But I'm telling you right now, a Jay Sean Tate to 199 did not make up for whatever box it came out of. Maybe the Coops did, maybe some of the other ones did, sure, but it doesn't feel as good when you need them to hit. And so, I really just am telling you all this just to let you know that this is really common. It's becoming more common as tops and fanatics kind of take a larger share in the market. Breakers are becoming much more prominent in the space, and just be mindful. Be mindful of your situation. If you're new to the hobby, you're thinking about getting into it, kind of like a buyer's beware. Here's my story. And I didn't have anyone telling me to slow down. I didn't have anyone to tell me to kind of take a beat, take a breath, think about it, do the numbers, and then kind of reevaluate what your strategy is going forward. And that's as easy as it. No heavy CTA here. That's just the story for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for listening. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below your favorite teams and players to collect. And as always, rip smart, keep smarter.